Good morning, Mr. Malatji. Good morning, Mr. Malatji.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Thank you. Yeah, will the witness, will you be swearing or affirming?
So help me God.
You'll be swearing.
Yes.
All right. Please state your full names for the record. It looks like I'm not audible.
Yes.
Please state your full names for the record.
I've got a bit of a hearing problem, but yes.
Is there? Where's Jeremy? That's he usually helps us with. Hearing. Do you use a hearing aid?
Yes, let me take out this one.
Chair, can I perhaps request that?
Yeah, perhaps let's just, we'll just adjourn very briefly and you'll please indicate to us when the sound issues have been sorted out. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Are you fine now, Mr. Malatji?
I'm fine, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I asked you earlier whether you would be swearing or affirming.
I will be swearing.
Swearing, all right. Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you. Mrs. Kakan.
Thank you, Commissioners. I think we've done the introductions. This is Mr. Malatji. Just on the issues of housekeeping, there should be 3 files that we're going to use for today's proceedings. Please, are the physical files with you? And Mr. Malatji, do you have those files, 3 files?
Yes.
Yes, they are, Mr. Kakan.
Thank you. The first file 1 is the statement and annexes from Mr. Malatji.
Yes.
Containing the statement that he prepared.
Yes. Let's go to the others when you take us there.
Okay.
Yeah, please do your preliminaries with the witness.
Thank you. And then I've just requested to hand 2 documents. I apologize, but we'll refer to them very briefly. But I do need to deal with them. Can I request them to be handed? Thanks. The first document is exhibit number CJC 104, and that's a news article. We'll deal with it at the right time. The second document is the supply chain management regulations, CJC 105. Thank you, Mr. Malatji. Would you then turn to your statement? File 1.
Sorry, Commissioner.
File 1.
File 1, yes.
Yes, your statement.
Yes.
Would you please, when you are answering questions, direct them to your answers to the commissioners?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And if I'm not audible or the commissioners are not audible sufficiently, just indicate. I'd be more than happy to repeat the question.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. This is the statement. Could you then go to the last page of your statement? which is page 9.
Yes, I'm on page 9, Commissioner.
You confirm that that is your signature and you are the deponent to the statement?
I confirm, Commissioner.
And you confirm that you took it before a commissioner of oaths?
I confirm.
Okay. If my role is evidence leader, the commissioners are there. Just for the record.
Thank you.
There's no problem. Thank you. The way we're going to deal with this, we are going to request that you go through the statement and refer us to the necessary annexures. But in between then, we are going to ask some questions. That is myself and the commissioners. And if there are any hanging things to be probed, we will probe it at the end. And make certain propositions for your comment on it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you then start with paragraph 1 of your statement or the introduction?
Yes, maybe before I start with paragraph 1, let me indicate to the Commissioner that my statement, sworn statement, / TA Malatji, it should read TP Malatji.
I didn't get that part.
I said a sworn statement on page 1.
Yes.
It should read TP Malatji, not TA Malatji.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. I'm going through my statement, and in my statement, I stating under oath that I'm an adult male currently employed as a director, Tshwane Metro Police Department, Asset Protection Services. I was appointed on the 1st of June, 2023. I have attached my appointment letter.
Sorry, Mr. Malatji.
So please pull the mics closer to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I was saying, I was appointed on the 1st of June, 2023. I've attached my appointment letter detailing my employment functions, marked as Annexure TP1. The facts contained herein are within my personal knowledge and are, to the best of my belief, both true and correct, unless they indicated otherwise by context. Paragraph 3, I confirm receipt of the notice issued in terms of Regulation 6 of the regulations of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into Criminality, Political Interference, and Corruption in the Criminal Justice System.
Just before you move on, what's the correct year? Is it 2013 or 2023? The year of appointment.
2013, Commissioner.
2013.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
And just to follow up from the chair, this position, you've held it since then, in terms of responsibilities. You've never changed title.
Yes, Commissioner. I held it since 2013.
And perhaps could you then take us through what would be your responsibilities as a director?
Yes.
And who reports to you and who you report to?
I report to the Deputy Chief of Police. Currently, it's Commissioner Spies, who just joined TMPD in March last year.
And before that, around 2015, 2016, who were you reporting to?
I was then reporting to Deputy Chief of Police Commissioner Sian Boleis. Boleis. Before Commissioner Sian Boleis, I was reporting to Mr. Navaplay in the office of the city manager.
Sorry, who?
Before reporting to Mr. Boleis, Commissioner Boleis,
Yes.
I reported to Mr. Navaplay. Navaplay, who is in the office of the city manager. Before reporting to Mr. Navaplay, I reported to Deputy Chief of Police, Mr. Rex Mahlaule, who is retired as we speak.
Thank you. And who reports to you currently? Or perhaps just your management structure underneath you that you are responsible for?
I've got Deputy Director Madlanga, Reginald Madlanga, who reports directly to me. I've got Dr. Elvis Malihlaba. Malihlaba, who is reporting to Reginald Madlanga in terms of our operational structure. And I've got senior security officers, including other members, sergeants, and inspectors, particularly Inspector Perry, who are reporting to Senior Superintendent Madlanga. I'm actually outlining line of command.
So does Perry report directly or he reports to someone before you?
He reports to Senior Superintendent Malihlaba. Malihlaba. I'm told they've been promoted not long. He's also at the level of Colonel, who's also reporting to Reginald Madlanga, who's the acting director at the moment, since I'm not in the office for the past 10 months or so.
Sorry, do you know when Piri was promoted? Good morning. Do you know when Mr. Piri was promoted?
Morning, Commissioner. I am not. I just had.
Was it this year or last year?
It was this year, according to the information I had.
This year, 2026.
2026.
It was after you were suspended.
Exactly.
Yes, okay.
Just for the record, to be clear, he was promoted to which position?
I'm told he has been given the position of a major, but this is what I've heard. I do not have a record.
Okay. Just to be clear also for my purposes, in 2025, around January, what was his position and who did he report to?
He was an inspector, Commissioner.
Please proceed.
Paragraph 4 of my statement read as follows. I've noted questions from the Commission and wish to respond thereto as follows. TMPD capacity to protect its property, assets, personnel, and decision to outsource security service tender under TMPD 2, 2016-2017. My response to this person is as follows, Commissioner. TMPD did not have capacity to protect its property, assets, and personnel. It was not only TMPD, but the city of Tshwane, as a municipality, did not have capacity to protect its properties, assets, personnel. Hence, the Asset Protection Services section was established under TMPD, Specialized Policing Division. The objective was to protect the property, assets, and personnel of the city. Paragraph 6 instructed former Deputy Chief of Police, Rex Mahlaule, to prepare tender TMPD 2, 2016-2017 for advertising. I was then requested by Mr. Mahlaule to assist with the tender specifications for further handling. Mr. Mahlaule was my senior at that point in time. I assisted as requested and submitted a tender specification to him for review, consideration, inputs, and further handling. The tender specification documents were then forwarded to Supply Chain Management Department for further handling. The Supply Chain Management subsequently advertised their tender, TMPD 2, 2016-2017, in September 2016, together with other tenders. I have attached the tender advertisement extracted from Pretoria News, issued on the 30th of September 2020. It should be 2016, not 20. Marked as Annexure TP2. I was thereafter appointed by the city manager to serve in the bid evaluation committee together with other members from different relevant departments of the city. The tender was evaluated accordingly by the BEC members, including myself. The BEC then adopted the report, which was handed over to the chairperson for further handling. The city of Tshwane was later.
Just
Thank you.
before that, I want to ask something relating to your membership of the BEC. We heard evidence to the effect that in respect of some tender, there was communication from within the city of Tshwane to an outsider, alerting the outsider to the fact that that particular tender was non-compliant, and indicating the nature of non-compliance and suggesting that urgent correction be made to make the tender compliant. As someone who has been a member of the BEC, what shortcomings do you think exist that make it possible for such improper correction of bids to be made after submission but before evaluation? How does that happen? What shortcomings are there? I'll ask you a follow-up, which is, how do you think those may be corrected or should be corrected? But please answer the first question.
Commissioner, I'm not having knowledge as I'm seated here of anything that might have gone wrong with the tender TMPD2 that was a member of.
I'm asking the question generally, which is why I do not even mention the internal person within the city, nor do I specifically mention the outsider, that is the person who is not within the city. So I'm asking the question in general terms. Where do you think the shortcomings would be for this to happen? A tender has been submitted. Someone finds that it's not compliant, and that someone is acting in cahoots with the outsider and obviously also with the person who submitted the tender. And then the tender is corrected, so that by the time it reaches evaluation, it is compliant. What are the shortcomings within the procurement the process that would make this possible?
It could be a number of factors which might include the fact that for as long as tenders are submitted on files like this, and to these files, officials have access to each and every file. I'm talking here specifically within the supply chain management environment, right? Such incident could take place, but now thinking of how this kind of things can be prevented going forward.
Before that, perhaps, you seem to lay emphasis on the fact of physical files.
Exactly.
Physical files in contradistinction to what?
I think physical files in.
Do you have perhaps, do you have in mind filing electronically? Or I just want to understand your emphasis in, as long as these are submitted in files like this,
Yes.
and you pointed to the physical file in front of you.
Exactly.
So I want to understand what you are suggesting as an alternative.
As an alternative, I'm thinking of suggesting that going forward, tender responses should be more electronic, right, as compared to filing system. And that would make it difficult, because out there in the public space, there are complaints to the effect that files are submitted, documents are taken out, and all of that. This is what we are hearing in the public space when people are complaining about issues of tenders and the like. But now, if alternatively files could be submitted electronically, I think that would assist a lot in terms of addressing the issue of loose files being taken out of, papers being taken, papers being replaced out of the tenders, yes.
And I think it's a euphemism to say you hear that documents get lost we know from what we have heard, or at least all indications are that that is in fact so. Because take, for example, I think it was this very tender process, which led to even litigation. And part of what was alleged in the litigation was that documents that had gone missing. And in the end, an award was made, or awards were made without the evaluation process having taken place, which in itself was quite odd, even if it took place in terms of a court order after the two sides, the two adversaries in the litigation had reached agreement and therefore asked for an order from the court by agreement. But to cut a long story short, at the center of the litigation was the fact that documents had gone missing. I'm saying this just to correct you when you seem to suggest that this is something you heard about. It appears to have been fact.
Commissioner, I hear, and I'm not disputing, but allow me, Commissioner, to say, in as far as TMPD 2, 2016-2017, wherein I participated as a BEC member, I can assure the Commissioner and this Commission that from the beginning to the end, right, we never had a situation, right? We never had a situation where there was a complaint to the effect that documents were tampered with and so forth and so on. We just waited. We waited for a very, I would say, for a very long time. We're not even, nobody, I'm talking from the accounting officer downward, has brought it to our attention. I'm referring to the BEC, our attention that the tender document that you got involved in has got problems, and these are the nature of problems. We never had that. Until today, I do not remember us or myself as a member.
Do you remember?
I don't know, Commissioner.
So your focus is only at the stage of your participation as a member of the BEC.
Yes.
So what you are telling us relates to that stage only.
Exactly.
So you would not know what happened later, and you would not know whether issues were raised about missing documents. You would not know that.
I would not know that.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I just check that, Mr. Malatji, the evidence so far is at some point in this tender process, documents were removed from the offices of the municipality and taken, I think, to a training college or something where the evaluation was done. Do you not know that happened?
What I'm referring, I'm talking to that particular issue in my statement, where I am mentioning that before these documents were moved to, the documents were moved from supply chain management premises, premises to the Tswane Leadership
Mr.
Academy.
Derek, can I just, Mr. Malatji?
Okay.
Can I just direct the commissioners to that answer, perhaps?
I've read the statement. I'm asking a different question. Mr. Malatji's evidence is that he never became aware, as I understand him in his discussion with the chairperson, he never became aware that there were irregularities, and I'm wanting you to clarify.
Okay.
That is that your evidence that you never became aware that there was an issue in this tender process, or there were allegations at least, that documents were removed from the premises of the municipality and taken to some other place, I think it's a college, where the evaluation is supposed to have happened there, or whatever the backstory to it. But that step
Yes.
of documents being removed from the municipality to another location in the tender process, are you saying you never became aware of that?
No. I wanted to assure the commissioner that there were reasons why these documents, right, why the BEC requested that the documents be moved from supply chain management to Primos. And those reasons were purely
Primos is the college.
college.
Okay.
Those reasons were based purely on security issues that, as the BEC have observed, right, before we could start with the actual evaluation process. And those security issues were as follows. While seated and expecting supply chain management officials to present us with documents, right? We observed that the facility which was adjacent to the boardroom where we were supposed to conduct, right? The storage facility was accessed without control by city officials, right? And that concerned the BEC, and the chairperson said, colleagues, what are we gonna do with this situation, right? We then had to check exactly what was happening. So there was no access control in and out. Nobody could tell us who was having the key, right? And officials were going in and out, which indicated that there might have been other documents kept in the same storage facility. The cameras were not they were not working.
Yes. So that takes
Yes.
you to the conversation you were having with the chair. Remember when the chair started? And you gave the explanation that you made the suggestion that bids submitted could be done so electronically, that is to avoid tampering and people having access to them. It's exactly this that the chairperson is talking about, that you, from the evidence we've had, tender documents were received, they were in a room, there are allegations that documents were removed, some documents were missing at some point. What can be done to avoid people having access to tender documents before the process is complete? And your suggestion was electronic. But you confused me when you said, well, as a BC member, I'm not aware that there had been any issues about this tender process. When in fact now you do accept that you did become aware, even as a member of a BC, that there are issues about storage of tender documents. And you were part of the decision or the request that those tender documents be removed from supply chain management to a college. That's all I wanted to clarify with you, because your evidence suggested you never became aware of any issues relating to this tender.
Commissioner, let me put it like this. I never became aware of documents that went missing. Hence, the documents were taken out of this premises down to the college, and when the actual process of evaluation started, right, each document was gone through, and I am not aware of any missing documents that, as the committee, we could see or realize that documents were missing. I never became aware of that. So we did our work. We went through each and every document without any such a report.
Can I just interrupt you there? Is it my misunderstanding of the evidence so far that this tender ended up in court because someone went to court, complained, and rather, in fact, the starting point, and please correct me if I misunderstood the evidence, the municipality cancelled this tender, sought to cancel this tender because of this complaint about documents having been removed and being returned, some documents missing. Then it went to court, and the court directed that this tender must continue. You cannot. There's no basis to cancel it, and the processing or the evaluation of the tender should proceed. Did I misunderstand that part of the evidence, or you're just not aware that that happened?
Commissioner, I would say, I wouldn't say the commissioner is misunderstanding anything, but from where I am sitting, all documents that were taken down got evaluated from the start to
No,
the end.
that's not my question,
Okay.
Mr. Malatji. We're not yet at a point where we're asking you to defend anything. We are
Okay.
not there yet.
Okay.
We're still trying to understand the facts
Okay.
as you recall them, right? I've asked you the simple question. Did I understand the evidence, misunderstand the evidence that the municipality made a decision to cancel this tender because there were allegations and complaints that documents were removed from SCM supply chain management, and when they were returned, some documents were missing, right? It was cancelled, and then someone went to court, and the court said there's no basis to cancel this tender, it must proceed to evaluation. Do you know or not know that that happened?
I do not know.
You don't know that anything like that happened?
Exactly.
And you are in supply chain management, and you were the contact person for this tender, according to the documents that we have seen.
Yes, let me correct the word count. I am not in supply chain management.
Yes.
I am the director responsible for the function.
Were you not the contact person for this tender? At least I think from documents that we have seen, you were referred to as the person to whom inquiries should be directed.
I agree, even though I do not have a copy of the document with me, that I might have, I was the contact person,
Yes.
but from the context of any bidder, maybe having questions, clarity seeking questions before the tender close, right? The reason for my being contact person would be to clarify whatever.
Yeah, let me
That's
stop you.
okay.
I'm not asking you to explain
All right.
why you were the contact person.
All right.
You have agreed or confirmed that you were the nominated contact person when the tender went out, right? Your name appeared as the contact person, and that's the evidence we have.
Correct.
Can I finally, so that is done, we agreed on that, you were the contact person. But now let me confirm very clearly. You say you are not aware that this tender went to court because there had been a complaint or an allegation that documents were removed and some documents were missing, and the court ordered that that's not a basis to cancel the tender. It must proceed to evaluation. You say you never became aware of that.
I heard that the tender is in court, but as to reasons why it has been taken to court, I never became aware of those reasons.
Thank you.
What you've just said now is something you said in response to one of my questions earlier. That is, you have no idea as to what the litigation related to. I just want to make this suggestion to you. You were closely involved with the process. Right from the start, literally right from the start. Remember, once a request was made to Mr. Mahlaule to work on the tender specifications, he requested you to assist him. That's the very first stage of the process after a decision has been taken that there should be a tender. So what are the specifications? What exactly do we require? That's the very first step. So you were intimately involved with the process right from the beginning. And that goes further. You then become a member of the bid evaluation committee. You say so yourself in your statement. And that's not the end. As Commissioner Baloyi has just engaged you on, you were the contact person. So all of those indicate how intimately involved with the evaluation. So you are not just a member, you actually get engaged in the evaluation process. And as the BEC or Bid Evaluation Committee, you even prepare a report for the Bid Adjudication Committee. Again, an indication of how closely or how intimately you were involved with the process. Then there's litigation. After it was indicated that the process was being cancelled for the reason that some documents were missing. Of course, you say you are not aware of that issue about documents missing. And then there's litigation. I think it was about 22 or so companies that said, no, this cannot be cancelled. They went to court. And there was then the agreement. And the court made an order in terms of or in accordance with that agreement, which was basically that an award should be made to those 22 or so companies. I find it very, very strange that when you were so intimately, so closely involved with this process right from the start, when there's litigation, of which you say in response to Commissioner Baloyi, you were aware. You do not know what that litigation related to. And we say it actually related to the missing documents. Fine, those who litigated were saying that this cannot be cancelled. But the cancellation itself was as a result of missing documents. That part you just happen not to know. I find that very, very strange. So you are intimately involved from the beginning, throughout the stages, but just before evaluation, and all of a sudden you turn your back and you forget about the whole thing. It simply does not make sense, Mr. Malatji. And I do not even understand why you would want to be defensive on this issue. You did not lose the documents. This is very odd.
Commissioner? Sorry for...
Yes.
All right. Commissioner, my involvement, as you correctly put it, as the Commissioner correctly put it, right? started when I developed the tender document. I was the
Please don't repeat that process. Please don't, you are part of the specification process. You are a member of the BEC. You participate in the decision-making of the BEC. You prepare a report for the bid evaluation. Please zoom in there because that's where my problem is. I say I find it strange that you, at that stage, suddenly have no idea as to what happened.
From the bid evaluation committee's report, right? My involvement ended there, right? And from there, my understanding, even though I'm not expert in supply chain management, but from there, once the report is submitted to supply chain management, they would do what they do and take the report up to another committee being the BAC, right? This is the committee wherein I do not participate.
I know you don't participate. You are not a member of the bid adjudication committee.
Yes.
But it's basically your tender.
Correct.
The very fact that you are asked right at the start to prepare the bid specification, it's your bid. It's your bid. You cannot tell me that somewhere through the process you completely lose interest and you are aware that there's litigation. You basically don't care what that litigation is about. That's what I find very odd. It's your bid. Don't you want to see where it ends ultimately? It's your bid.
Commissioner, I must mention here that, yes, it is my bid, but at the level of BAC and what happens, right, going up, I would always expect information or, yes, the seat or the department, like they appointed me when there are issues pertaining to this bid for which I was appointed to serve. Now, in this instance, nothing of that sort happened, right? I had it like any member of the public that this bid was being challenged, but from
You are not any member of the public, Mr. Malatji.
I agree, Commissioner. Excuse me for the word. I just wanted to emphasize that there was no formal engagement and information that this bid has been taken to court. These are the reasons.
You are the client representative. That's why Mr. Deputy Commissioner Mahlaule, I think, he appoints you. So this is a tender for his department, APSS, and he appoints you to be the representative, to be the person that deals with it. But you are the client. It's very difficult to accept that this tender would run into problems. You don't know anything about it. Apart from the fact that you're a member of the BC, you are the client. It runs into problems, you don't know anything about it. It is taken to court, you don't know about it. It takes forever to finalize. And you're the client, you're the one that's responsible for this service. You're the one with a direct interest to get this tender finalized. And it's not getting finalized, and you say, well, I had it like any other member of the public. I'm prepared to accept when you say member of the public, you mean like any other employee of the TMPD or of Tshwane Metro. And it has to be, because you're not a member of the public. But in that capacity as a client, that you don't know because nobody said anything about it, and you don't make inquiries, it's your tender. It's difficult to accept it. I do, let me speak for myself. I find it very difficult to accept that you remained ignorant of the issues that are delaying your tender when you had a direct interest in this tender being finalized and security companies being appointed, you must have known. You must have asked the questions. Otherwise, something is seriously wrong. If you, as the client representative who has a direct interest in this tender being finalized, you did not ask the basic question: what's happening? Supply chain, what's happening that this tender is not being finalized? There's no way you did not ask that question. I want to put it that high. There's no way you did not ask that question.
Commissioner, let me make the commissioner aware. Within the department, right, there are stages of involvement. This is what is happening practically, even today. Within the department, there are different stages of involvement. At certain, irrespective of whether the issue that they are discussing at top management or EMM of the department, irrespective of whether such an issue is affecting me, right? Therefore, I would expect whoever my superior is brought to terms with the issues that are involving me in my capacity as the employee, to come down and say, Director Malatji, that bit has got the issues. These are the issues. So I'm saying to the commissioner, such a thing never took place. Hence, I agree with the commissioner when the commissioner says it would be very difficult to accept, you understand? And I want to make a point that says, under normal circumstances, but now, when the situation is as it is now, right, it's very difficult. And things are involving you as the director, right? People are taking decisions about those things, and when they're deciding on those things, they don't even have courage to invite you, right? Once they are done, they give instructions, and yours is to make sure that whatever instruction is given, right, you do your best of your ability in order to adhere to that particular instruction. Hence, when it comes to these issues, right, I was never informed.
No, continue.
Okay.
We can multitask.
Thank you. Hence I'm saying when it comes to the court issues, the reasons behind why this tender was litigated, it was never brought to my attention. I had in the corridors, but from the top management who assigned me a duty right from the beginning to take me in confidence and say, Director, come here. Here there is a problem, right? Such a thing never happened. And mind you, when it happens at that, it doesn't only involve my department, right? At the BEC level, the legal services, the CFOs and all of that. So from where I operated or from where I'm operating, it would always be very difficult to go and knock, right, on individual, doors to say, hey, what is the problem with this? What is the problem with that? But once you get formally informed or formally involved, you are able to participate, you are able to get yourself familiarized with issues and play your role in order to make input and have them resolved if they are resolved.
May I just say this, and it's meant as advise, Mr. Malatji.
Thank you.
The very first question I asked you, which was in general terms, related to tenders generally, it was not about a specific tender. It was not about your tender, the tender we're talking about now. My sense was that you immediately got defensive.
Oh, okay.
And I had to explain to you that, Mr. Malatji, please do not be defensive. This is not about your tender. I'm asking about tenders generally. And it was only thereafter that you then gave an answer to my question. And I must say to you that the answer was quite useful. Now, on the issue that Commissioner Baloyi and I are engaging you on, my distinct sense, and from what Commissioner Baloyi also said, I think that's her sense as well, you are again being defensive. And yet again, you are being defensive on something that, although it relates to impropriety, from where you are sitting, there has been no suggestion, or at least I'm not aware, that the missing documents were as a result of any act of impropriety on your part. Thus far, I'm not aware of such evidence, but you are being defensive. That's my sense. That's Commissioner Baloyi's sense. And even though he has not said anything on the matter, I'm sure that it's also Commissioner Kumalo's sense. Now, here's the advice. Your evidence will flow much more smoothly if you do not get defensive when you do not have to. Your evidence will run much, much more smoothly. I don't know if you, I don't think that calls for any comment on your part, but if you want to comment, you may.
No, thanks, Commissioner, for making me aware that I'm being defensive. I was not aware that I'm...
You are.
Thank you. Director Malatji, very quickly, I'm only seeking clarity. I'm not probing you. My understanding of the documents is that the reason why the city itself took a decision to cancel this TMPD 2016-2017 tender was because there was an allegation that 50 bids went missing. Did you at any stage become aware of the allegation that 50 bids went missing?
Commissioner, I did not know. I did not become aware of that allegation.
And what were the BEC members told was the reason for the cancellation of this tender?
Commissioner, from where I am sitting, I'm not aware of any information that was given to the BEC members about missing documents.
I'm not asking about missing documents.
Okay.
At some point, you must have become aware that the tender has not been finalized.
Yes.
So what was the reason given to the members of the BEC for the tender not being finalized?
Commissioner, I'm not aware of any session where the BEC members were informed of the tender not being awarded.
And then you specifically, I mean, let's say you are now in 2020. It's a tender that started in 2016. It's now 2023, 4 years later. And you are aware that nobody has been appointed.
Yes.
And you are the contact person. So all the security companies that submit bids, you are the face of this bid. You are the person they call and ask, how far is the process? Am I still in the running? Am I still not? What did you know about the bid or the process not moving forward? I'm talking now about 2020 because BEC has done its function, like you said. They have evaluated the bids. Now years go by, there's no appointment. What did you learn was the reason for the non-appointment of successful bidders?
Commissioner, can I introduce before I get to the question specifically?
But I don't want a long story because I just want you to make me understand what you knew.
All right.
So I don't want you to tell me about other people. If your answer is going to be, I had a rumor, this was the rumor, that's fine. But I just want to know what you knew. Because if you are, let me just stop you. You are a contact person. You are the face of the bid. You sat in the evaluation committee. You prepared a report that went to SCM for SCM to involve BAC. Nothing happens. Did you not inquire what is happening with the bid? How far is the bid? Why has there not been an appointment? Because you are a director of security services. You are the client ultimately.
Commissioner, I hear and I understand, Commissioner. Right? Maybe for me to say, between 2020, it was May 27, 2017 to 2019, right? I was not in that space. They took me out of that space, right? And I must mention that there might have been communication, right, to the effect that the tender is not moving, these are the reasons and the like. But now, since I was taken out of the position for almost 2 years, right, that part I might have missed. I'm not sure, Commissioner.
I think let's leave it there for now.
Thank you.
Let us adjourn, Mr. Skakane. Let us adjourn and resume at 11:40.
Thank you, Commissioner.